Hey guys, welcome to my 2007 Locked Ultimate Ironman, the series where I'm not allowed to do any content released after 2007. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is de-iron and wait 7 days because Ironman wasn't released until 2014. The Grand Exchange, however, was released in 2007, so we will be taking full advantage of that, and as you can see here, banks have been around since sometime in RuneScape Classic, so we are also going to be using those. With that awkward stuff out of the way, the efficient way to start up this account would be, of course, to do some questing. However, we can't use Quest Helper or any guide released after 2007. Also, no one in 2007 was efficient, so with that being said, we're going to put those on the back burner for now and start off with something else. Guys, what better way to start off this account than with a money-making strategy I used back in the day? We are going to be killing cows and running the full inventories of cowhide back to the Lumbridge Bank. Doing this, we should make around 15k gold per hour, and if my calculations are correct, we will be able to purchase a set of gold-trimmed black armor in about 30 hours. Trimmed armor was a massive flex back in the day, and once we get it, we will show it off at the Grand Exchange, but of course we will not be accepting compliments from people wearing any gear that was released after 2007. Instead, we will immediately be putting these people on ignore. I'm gonna grind out that gold. I'll be back with you guys in a bit. Guys, I'm back and something awful has happened, so let me fill you in on the details. Basically, I figured I could save a bit of coin by purchasing regular black armor and having it trimmed professionally by a generous high-level player. Unfortunately, I got scammed and lost all the progress we've been working towards on this account. With that being said, this brings us to our first major storyline. We are going to be undergoing a massive rebuild, and we're going to be doing it the old-fashioned way, by begging for gold at the Grand Exchange. However, we will not be accepting gold from anyone wearing gear that was released after 2007. This will surely be a monumental task. Okay, so the rebuild is over, it's done. Took about 5 minutes. A guy gave us 25k, which was in retrospect not really that much. It was enough to cover the cost of lost armor and then some. Anyhow, I'm very proud of myself for completing one of the biggest rebuilds surely that this game has ever seen, and you guys are undoubtedly very impressed with me as well. Guys, moving on, I have huge plans for this account going forward. We're gonna get to endgame content like barrows and green dragons. For now, we will be rioting in Falador because in 2007, as you probably remember, they removed free trade and wilderness PKing. Obviously, both of these things are in the game now, so this isn't going to make a whole lot of sense, but in the spirit of staying true to the time period, we're going to do it anyway. Guys, so as you can see, not many people have joined the riot. I did log on to an alt at one point to make this riot look more substantial until I realized that alts actually weren't allowed in the game back then, so I actually reported myself and logged out. With that being said, I wouldn't say this was a resounding success, but we're just gonna power past it and move on to the next thing. Guys, in 2007, chatting was a huge part of the game. Of course, I've talked all about chatting with other players in previous videos. At this point, I've probably talked about it for 20 straight minutes. But this whole chat room experience had kind of a different vibe in 2007, mostly because the average age of RuneScape was probably 14, and this was many people's first experience of chatting with random strangers on the internet. Because of this, people lying about how cool they were in real life was a very common occurrence. So with that being said, in the spirit of this challenge, I'm going to be doing some social skilling and telling people how cool I am in real life. The sky is the limit here. We're just going to make up lie after lie and constantly mix up the details of said lies, causing us to have to make up even more lies to make it all make sense. Every skiller in my vicinity needs to know who's in charge. Now, of course, we're getting a little pushback. That was to be expected. As you can see, this guy wants me to come into the wilderness and fight. I figured something like this would happen eventually, but this is an absolutely crucial moment. So, of course, I'm not actually going to go do this, but to avoid looking weak, I'm going to tell him that I'm going to meet him out in the wilderness to get rid of him, and now that he's left, I'm going to loudly announce that I'm going to go PK him. At this point, I'm going to put them on ignore, hop worlds, and start skilling somewhere else. Guys, progress has been getting pretty intense. As you can see, we are almost 60 range, so we're going to be killing some green dragons. We're also going to be wearing needlessly expensive gear into the wilderness and bringing our entire cash stack, because if you've been following the storyline of this series, it's now the part of 2007 where free trade and wilderness PKing have just gotten removed, so we're totally safe doing this. We cannot get PK'd, so let's get after it. We're just gonna sit here and grind green dragons until we have enough gold to buy every barrow set. Guys, we're back. So as you can see, unfortunately, we ran into this absolute menace who killed us despite the fact that I explained that Wildy PvP was removed in 2007. His argument was basically that although the update was released in late 2007, the Wildy was still active at the start of the year, and therefore PKing was fair game. Admittedly, this guy got under my skin so much that I ended up sculling on him and dying. Anyhow, the kind of shitty part about all of this is I was running around with all my noted dragon bones and hides because I thought it would look cool to watch them pile up in my inventory over the course of the video. So with that being said, we lost everything. I will see you in episode 2 for the rebuild.